So the Haggadah is a big sugya, a lot of interesting biurim. So focus mostly on the Hilach part, and we'll see maybe we'll go into the four shilos. So there's a lot of things that stand out differently from the Hilach Ma'anya, from the other stuff, from the other pieces. First of all, it's a whole different language. It's in Aramaic. So there's a pure from the Ravan. He explains Taka, why is it different. So he says the Taka wasn't part of the Haggadah. It was something that was only added in later. Later, when they were in Babel, he wanted to explain all the simple people should understand why is it over there. So that's why they added it in, and that's why it's in Aramaic.
The typhus of the Haggadah, in other words, predates Babel.
Starts from Avodah Mayinu.
Yeah. The etzem, what we say and everything predates Babel. Just have an idea in your head how far back we're talking.
Yeah, so he writes in the first Maramakim, writes Hilach Ma'anya in min Haggadah. Really, it's not a part of the Haggadah which they were which was in the second. I'm not sure who Anshei Knesset Agdel. I'm not sure who was in the second. Rather, they were second in Babel, which they went then they spoke Aramis. That's when they will say it. Why? In order that everyone should understand it. And because of that, they should come to ask the questions. Why are we eating matzah tonight? Why is everything different? So that's one.
Would that makes them ask Manishtana?
You can give them an introduction. Tonight, this is the.
So
we're eating matzah.
What it's different.
And we kind of already answered the question. This is Heilach Ma'anya.
Like that, the question should be beforehand.
They should ask Manishtana. We should answer a little bit.
Mine is the answer going to this.
What's the ha and hey? What is that all about?
The what?
So when we say ha, some people say hey.
We're the only ones who say ha, I think.
Yeah.
No, hey, like, we're the only ones who say hey, says ha.
I don't remember. I didn't look into it. There's another interesting pshat from the Shivli Leket. Why do we say why is it in Aramaic? So he says because what are you doing? You're coming in the Hilach Ma'an. You're making an open invitation. Anyone who wants to come. So he says you have to be careful. All the shaitan and all the Nakar Ruchis are going to hear open invitation. He says it sounds like he's saying it happened. Like they said they will come to the house and people will get hurt. And it was bad news. You make an open invitation. You invite everyone over. So that's what, right? Because the Malachim don't understand Aramaic. So therefore the shaitan also don't. So therefore that's why we say we give the open invitation in Aramaic. Look in the second Maramakim. He writes, Why do you say in Aramaic? In order that they shouldn't realize, they shouldn't hear this open invitation. They speak Lashon Kodesh, they hear what we say. Anyone who's hungry, come and eat. And everyone and they would all come and they would gather or they would ruin the meal and they would do damage. That's why we say the Lashon Aramis in order that all the mazik and all the shadim shouldn't come. So it's interesting. It's interesting verse. The Shavali Haleket, the next shtickle he asks, he says, I don't get it, it's Lo Shimurim, right? It's Lo Shomer Min HaMazikin.
Yeah, you don't have to ask for it.
What?
No, he's saying it's Lo Shimurim.
That's a Lo Shimurim.
What are we worried about?
What are you worried about the Mazikin? It's Lo Shimurim.
Wait a minute,
He's on the Chashav Peskim. He's given in the Yerushalayim. Early Achreinim.
we're worried about that they they want to eat, they didn't eat. You mean they didn't eat today?
They hear of it. Why are they coming? They're hungry? I'm not sure. Someone said the word you wanted to say. They said that's when you're giving an open invitation. It's different.
Still a good cash. The cash is better than
yeah. So therefore, he doesn't like this shot. He likes the ikr, the shot.
Yeah, what are they coming for? Because they're hungry?
Party!
Oh, they're coming to the party. Yeah. Okay.
I don't know. I'm not sure how the shadim's head.
They hear an open invitation to come in and have a good time and join our party. Our soda. And drive and
You're talking about shade. And once they're there, they
make trouble.
Yeah. And you invited them. They're not doing anything wrong. You're telling them to come in. How many times a year do we invite anyone in? No rules. With no rules, with no,
so the next child is, so how come, so the reason we say in Aram is Pashtus is like the Ravan said, because that the Pasha the people should understand it. So how come the end, Lashon Habal, We changed the shyness.
Well, we say why.
So,
We don't care if they understand that part.
Right, but if it's saying according to the first pshat, the pashas that Avon, now we're saying in order for the pasha that people should understand what we're saying, the first maramakim, the Avon, for that the Nashim Nami Ada. So why does it change in the end? Like around this. So the thing is beer which is brought down that brings down in the Haggadah is that in order that if the goyim here that we're saying next year we're going to be free, they think we're trying to make a revolution. So that's what we say in Lashon Aramis. But there's
I mean, Lashon Kodesh.
That's what we say. That's part of Lashon Kodesh.
Yeah, in Lashon Kodesh. But Shibbolei Aleket says it. He brings another pshat that since we're saying Lashon Tefillah, therefore this part we talk want the malachim to hear. So Lashon Tefillah, we want them to bring our tefillah to the Eibishter.
They bring bad malachim. We're worried about. The good ones aren't coming and partying.
We're only worried about the bad malachim while we're giving open invitation. For the party is only the bad malachim.
Right. So here we're saying
when it comes to
the good
davening,
malachim should help and hear us.
yeah, he brings the Gemara.
But they don't speak Aramaic, so
Right, so that's why we say this part. So that's why this part we say in Lashon Kodesh. He brings there's a Gemara in Shabbos says that the person shall say his tefillah Lashon in Lashon Kodesh. Therefore they'll bring our tefillah to the Eivishter. So that's in the third Maram Nakim.
that's why we don't say certain tefillahs only Tzibur, because like Korban and whatever.
Right, so Kaddish is the argument. Tesis and Rachi brings down he says some people say the reason we say Aramis is so the Malachim shouldn't get jealous. But he said he asked him, he says something like it. He says Pashas is just because at the end of the shir, when they had a shir limud, you would say Kaddish, and all the Pasha people were there, so they said it in Aramaic. So the Pasha that people, they said so the Pasha the Amiyadis who were coming to the shir to learn could also understand. So I don't know, different hezbedim. So I'll do that over here, different biurim. So next shtickle also. We say lachem. We say next we say lachma anya. So what does lachma anya mean? Why is it the poor man's bread? Or does anya mean poor? So really, there's three different types. There's three translations in anya. Either you could touch it ani, poor person, or you could touch it oine anias dvarim that you answer, or you could touch it lashon inui, the suffering. So based on these three types, and there's 5 different biurim I brought down here. 3 of them there's in the Gemara, in the 4th Maram Makim. The Gemara in Pesachim, Kuf Tezvav says, Lechem oini, lechem sha'inin olav devarim harvei. So lechem, which you answer on in many things. Meaning by the Agada, you speak all the divrei Agada on this bread. Davar asas lashon oinin, answering. The next piece of the Gemara says, Davar acher lechem oini ani ksiv. And the Torah doesn't say oini, which is Lashon answer. It means ani, a poor person. How so? So say ma ani shadaki betrusa afkan betrusa. Just like ani, he can't have a whole loaf of bread. Everything is broken, a scrap here. So to the matzah we break it in half by yachats, and therefore we also don't have the shlino. That's why we call lechem ani.
That's why the Rambam says you're not supposed to have the lechem mishnah like full lechem.
Right. Shouldn't be a shleima. Because after you buy it, you're ani. After you buy it, you become ani.
We do have full lechem though.
Well, we do, but I don't.
They only have.
Prusik.
I know the Gra also had a funny minhag. He used to do things differently.
The Gra used to have 2 matters.
And the one that they said a couple of weeks ago, they don't make a maifi on 2 whole loaves, on Pesach.
There's then the Gemara gives us a third shot. Davar acher ma darkei shel ani.
Go buy shvan, it's cheaper. According to Rambam, I could go all with
The Gemara goes weiter. He gives a third shot. Davar acher ma darkei shel ani hu masik v'ishtei oife. And just like ani doesn't have servants to cook for him, he has to do everything himself, him and his wife. Afkan nami hu masik v'ishtei oife. So on Pesach, we're so worried. We want to make sure everything is done quick, the best possible and the quickest, and it shouldn't come to chametz. We end up doing it ourselves, and we end up looking just like ani, which have to cook everything themselves. They don't have anyone to do the work for them.
No,
so
can't have any hired help.
So that's a third.
the bread should be called. According to that one.
That's a third shot. That's the way the lechem is made. There's a 4th shot in the 5th Maramakim from the Ritzvah. So, fifth Maramakin is the Ritva. He gives another pshat. It says, Aval hanochin, the nikres lachem oini, mipnei shahamatz miskabetzes u'mischaseres. It doesn't rise, it shrinks, and it's very small. Ve'in mitzlachas k'mei hachametz. It's not matzliach to grow, to rise like chametz is. Ki me'uga acha shel isa revucha te'af ugeis chametz gedela. From one little thing, you can let it rise and become a big loaf.
Isn't this like the main shot that we always think it's lachameni? It's matzah because it's small. This is
the main principal shot. Yes, yes.
You even got the main reason that it's so expensive that you become
You become an Amy, yeah.
It's funny, you'll see what. So this is a fourth shot from the Ritva. There's a fifth.
It's in
Masig, yeah, it's in
the 2000 lane.
And so the sixth Maramakin, there's a Sifri. It teaches that it's flushing Inui. That it's the Rabbi Shimon Eimer Lama Nikra Lechem Oini. Why is it Oini? El Hashem Inui Shenis Anav Mitzrayim. Because we're eating it to remember the Inui that Yidden had in Mitzrayim.
Isn't that the Gemara though? You accomplish that, but you're doing both.
They fed us also. We need. Mitzrayim we also eat matzah though.
Oh, so we're gonna see. So we're gonna see where.
Keep you satisfied longer.
Oh, so that's the next stickle from the Ibn Ezra. The Shaila is when we're eating a matzah al shema, or is it al shem the geula that we ran out so fast we didn't have the matzah and therefore we're eating the matzah to remember the geula, or are we eating the matzah to remember the not good food that we have to eat in Mitzrayim? I saw someone to say the reason also taish lashon inui because it hurts you, it's hard to digest, and lashon inui it's lachem aini because it's hard to digest and it's.
The truth is, why did they eat matzah? Because they were going out.
But also replicated in Mitzrayim.
The reason is there was no time for it to rise.
Yeah.
Right?
That's why we
going out. They were the happy, so they were. But the point is, they were happy to do it.
Oh, so
But they were going out. I know he was saying.
No, because there's two times we ate it. Once in Mitzrayim, once when we were slaves, and then again when we were going out.
They were happy to eat it with the carbon pesach.
Right.
That had nothing to do with going out of Mitzrayim.
okay, this is the next step. Hang on, before we get on to the next
times
step.
we ate matzah then.
So listen. So till now, so we gave 5 pirushim, and what's taich lechem oini. And so now the next stickle is the achalu avasan ba'ad Mitzrayim, right? We say this is lechem oini that our fathers ate in Eretz in Mitzrayim. So the shayla is the chayla the matzah, right? The matzah that they only had it when they were leaving Mitzrayim, right? This is the question. The question that's asked by some Rishonim is the chayla we only ate this afterwards. They were in such a rush they couldn't rise, and that's why they had to eat matzah.
So you're saying maybe in Mitzrayim they never ate matzah?
Where did we find? Where does it say anywhere that they eat matzah in Mitzrayim? So in the seventh Maramakim, the Arches Chaim asks a shayla. Yeshaylin of Halei Achit Sis Mitzrayim Haya Shahitziu B'Tzeikas Sururis B'Simleisim. Wasn't when they were leaving Mitzrayim that they took out the dough wrapped up Al Shichman B'Yifu Sabatzik, and that's when they made the matzahs.
So Mitzrayim maybe they ate bread.
Yeah, where did we find that they eat matzahs? So he brings down from the Ibn Ezra. It says V'amar Rav Yehisa v'Hazuvi b'Shem Harav Avram ibn Ezra Zal. So he used to travel. Shavi Bahidu. He was in prison in India. He traveled a bit, and they only fed the prisoners their matzah. They never fed them chametz. Why? Since it takes a long time to digest, and therefore even a little bit is enough to feed them. So therefore, they didn't want to feed their prisoners too much. They only gave them matzah. It takes them a long time to digest. Therefore, that's what the Mitzrayim did to the Yidden also.
So who was the prisoner?
The Yidden.
Ibn Ezra was in prison.
He saw what you give prisoners.
He saw what they did.
So just like in Haidu, they gave that Mitzrayim.
So from being in prison,
Ibn Ezra was a prisoner.
he was in prison.
He was visiting.
No, he visited prison.
He was visiting.
No, Shahaya Shavui.
Ibn Ezra looks like,
He was
right?
in prison in Haidu.
If they're cooking. So according to this, the lechem that we say we're eating the lechem. It's not so much Hashem the gulak. It turns out it's Hashem the tzaddis. But if at the end of the Haggadah we say different, right? Lechem is matzah zushan recham shema. Hashem shlei hispik b'seichel shavasin lahafetz. So it seems like there's two different reasons. So some other Mefarshim want to say Pashas like you were saying before that when they were eating the korban Pesach Mitzrayim, they had to eat it. The Pasuk said they had to eat it also with matzah al matzahs meridim mechlu. So there's a few matzahs. There's matzahs besides the matzahs which they ate when they left Mitzrayim.
So the matzahs in Mitzrayim, the matzahs when they left, and they said the korban.
And the matzahs by the korban Pesach. So Hilach Anya is either going what?
Maybe everything was matzah. Whatever they did, they just
No, but according to that, by the way, the matzah means
nothing else.
No, haters
for one day.
The Mitzrayim ate
It says
matzah.
that later again the
lechem. They gave the prisoners. They gave matzah.
His speak was
Haters you would eat.
Korban Pesach.
And they gave them when they ran.
The rest
they
of
would
the
have. They
6
were already in
days
the motorcade.
after-
Which means his speak.
Bread, but they were running, so they couldn't. Like his speak, but they would have.
Right.
So the rest of the days are not a mitzvah.
Also the bread.
Right, that's why the first thing you have to eat it is not allowed to eat hummus.
Dry.
Correct.
Some logic has to go in there.
So that's the negeya to the Achalas and Ba'ad Mitzrayim. So the next stickle is Kol Dechvin Yesei V'Yechol. Kol Detzrich Yesei V'Yifsach. Everyone should need to come eat, and he needs the korban Pesach should come do the korban Pesach with us. So the Rid, he doesn't understand. He says, nowadays we don't do the korban Pesach, so why are we saying this? So he wants to take it out of the Haggadah. He says we shouldn't say it.
Which they called Yesei V'Yifsach.
Yesei V'Yifsach. Yeah, we don't do the korban Pesach nowadays. The Eitamar Makin, the Rid writes.
I would say to do the Zeichet, come and do the Zeichet with us.
Oh, so that's the next stickle. So let's read the Shaila. He writes in the Eitamar Makin, Man detzrich Yesei V'Yifsach, nearly the Legarsinon lane, She'elan Wa'ata Pesach, Va'filo Hayalan Wa'ata Pesach, even we did have the Pesach, you wouldn't invite him, She'ena Pesach Nechel Ela Limnuyev, Kishu Chai. And now
He's saying he was not missing English.
yeah, he says he doesn't understand it. Now it's nighttime. You already shechted the Pesach by now. It needs to be limnuyev. They need to be part of the chavurah before you shecht it. How could you invite them now? So is a good.
Later and it's L'Zeicher.
So is a good kasha.
No, Yesei V'Yechol is fine. He doesn't have a problem with that.
Yeah.
Yesei
V'Yifsach, he doesn't understand.
But no,
He's saying
No,
this
no,
man's.
we didn't say it then. We only say it.
Are you saying we only started saying it after?
After and it's L'Zeicher.
So maybe that'll work with the Ravon in the ninth Maramach. He writes, Kodich fin ve'inlei matzah yavav yechol. You should come and eat. Ve'chol detzrich yavav yasa din pesach imon u'echol yirakus u'moror shehu zeichel pesach. So l'cheda decide how you think Pasha teaches. But a lot of people bothered by the question. What's first of all saying? What you go to your door, you scream out on the street, anyone wants to come into my house? Why don't you give them? Yeah, you should do it in shul. Why are you doing it over here? And why are you doing only Pesach? How come? What about all the other Yom Tovim? Why are you only inviting them now? What about the other Yom Tovim? So there's a Pirush Kadling. It's from one of the Rishonim. We don't know who it's from, but it's quoted by other Rishonim. He writes, so he's bothered by his question. So what? People just invite everyone in? He says, no. It's really saying who is Roy. What type of person deserves to eat matzah on Pesach? Someone who made himself hungry. There's a din you're not supposed to eat after Chatzos or Shastiris out of Pesach in order that you should eat the matzah ala seva. Or that you should eat with a taival. So he teaches what we call dechvin. Anyone who made himself a dachav because he didn't eat the Erev Pesach, he's the one who deserves to come and eat matzah. Yesei v'yechol. We called it tzrich. So everyone it's called it tzrich. Teaches someone that a person should make himself like a tzedek, that he shouldn't eat by himself, like he's a great gvir and he has a whole big soda for himself. He should eat together. He should invite people. He should make himself a tzrich. He needs other people because you want to make sure that there's nothing left over by mistake.
No, saying it, not about the people.
He's talking about the korban Pesach here, no?
The korban Pesach, yeah,
korban Pesach. So you're tzedek b'chaburim. So technically, because of expense. But he's a usher, so he should go out and buy himself his own korban Pesach.
So we say no.
That Pesach is an Indian.
You want to do it with a chabura.
That's
why you should do it. A person might think I'm an usher. I don't need to invite other people. I can do it myself.
So the whole Keldifit is all about you. It's not really about inviting other people.
Yeah.
It's all about you understanding and what you have to do.
Yeah. So yes, he takes. Yeah. So look in the 10th Maramach and he writes, Does everyone open up their door and scream out everyone come and eat with me? Elokeinu ha'omer. This is what it means. Kol adam sheheri v'asmi v'erev Pesach. Anyone made himself hungry erev Pesach. Lefisha asur litim shum davar mechame shoyis l'mayla. Kidei sheikanis. Chamesh. Okay, I'm not sure. Sheikanis achilas ma'aseh kishu taiva. They should come and eat while he's hungry. So that's saying that's who someone deserves to come and eat matzah. At the next shtickle, v'chol ditzrich yisei v'yivsach shahakol ru'uyim sheyu aniyim eitzal pesach. Everyone should be like aniyim when it comes to the pesach. Shalei yimar yachid hoyav ani asher elch ve'eknet pesach echad v'yichlenu levanti. I'm not going to buy a whole pesach and eat it myself. You should eat it together. You shouldn't do it by yourself. You want to make sure nothing is left over.
That only helps the guys mamash by himself. Then him and his family, Usher, he can finish the whole Pesach.
Okay.
But still, for other reason, there's still.
You should try and make a bigger chavura.
It's all about him.
It's a Yisach, he should do it together.
But there's no common Pesach.
Oh, so he's not answering that question. Okay, fine. Yeah,
It's
he's
the
not
same
answering
thing,
that question.
the same thing. Invite people in together to have the Zecher.
No, but the question was...
It's all about you.
Yeah, that's what I understand, but the question was about common Pesach.
No, it's the
And there's another nice pshat from the Rashbam. He says, what's pshat? He says what we're saying now is not really an invitation, but what we are saying now is what the Yidden said in Mitzrayim, when they were going out of Mitzrayim. When they were going out, they needed to have matzah, so they said, rush, quick, do things quick. But you don't have what to eat, come eat with me, do the Korban Pesach. Don't worry, run and do everything quick, because the Shana Haba...
The Kol Dichrin is the Zecher.
Yeah, everything we're saying...
For other people, we have a kasha. So one answer was you apply it to yourself, and the other answer is we're saying it was Zecher.
We're saying a Zecher, this is what the Yidden said when they were leaving Mitzrayim. Look at the 11th Marim. Everyone was hungry coming. Someone who didn't have a chance to prepare all the things he needs for the Seder. I have everything ready. Don't kratz. Come and eat with me quickly. Everyone who doesn't have the Pesach, come do with me. What does it mean? We should be happy. We should do everything quickly. If we eat quickly now, Eretz Yisrael. The next year we'll be in Eretz Yisrael, and then we'll be able to take our time and eat properly. And even though now we're in prison, we're imprisoned in Mitzrayim, next year we'll be free. So you should be b'simcha. All this is recounting what our father said. And therefore we say the same thing that they did. Therefore we say the whole nusach. So
that's actually the 11th one.
You're saying why is it in Aramaic?
So we go according to the first answer, and that's what they understood. No, we're going what? You're saying why is it?
Saying if it's Zecher to what they say, we should say it in
Lashon Kodesh.
We say in Lashon Kodesh. It's a Zecher. I guess because of the Mazikin, we're worried about the Mazikin.
No, we want to push the people to understand.
Because they were in the time, they were saying, well, yeah, we have to say that quick. We're leaving soon. We're leaving the time. You don't have what to eat. Come do it with me.
People say then you should say it in Yiddish or in English. Why do we still say that
in Aramaic?
In Aramaic, it's kind of funny. The whole reason we're saying that people understand.
Because we're educated, so we learned Aramaic. In those days, they weren't educated; they only knew their language. We have Google Translate, so we can understand even Aramaic. Good catch. I hear what you're saying.
The only answer why we still saying in Aramaic is for the...
Same with any part of the filler.
What's also very nice with this pshat... What's very nice... What's very nice about this pshat, the Rebbe asked in a few sukkahs a question. You have three different parts of the Hilach Manim. They don't connect with each other, right? First thing is, if this is the poor bread, if this is the poor, this is the Lachmanu ate in Mitzrayim. The next piece, we're inviting everyone to our house. The next piece, we're saying, Shana B'nei Chaydim. Like, what's the Hemshech about it? How do you jump from one thing to the other? So like this pshat, the taka fits very nicely. We're saying this is what the Yidden said in Mitzrayim. They said, we're saying, hey Lachma'anya, this is what our father said, ate in Mitzrayim. And when they ate this in Mitzrayim, this is what they would say. They would say, they were saying that, come eat quickly, Lashana Haba, don't cross, Lashana Haba, we're going to be out of here. We're going to leave Mitzrayim.
Even though we're saying it, you can still say about the Shadim. Is that what you said? You can still say that answer. You can still say that answer. We're taka saying it, but they're going to think that we're saying it, we're inviting them. So we don't say it in Lashon Kodesh.
Very nice. You may make my Haggadah take an extra hour, man.
When
You get picked on your phone.
So
when Mashiach comes,
I think everything you speak by the city should be in Aramaic.
Yeah.
so there won't be Pesach. So when Mashiach about
Who did the one Pesach?
We're not gonna, the Karban Pesach, we're not going to do the Karban Pesach?
Of course we're going to do Karban Pesach.
It doesn't say, it says the Shana Bo, we're going to be in Yerushalayim.
No, I don't think Pesach we have.
We're going to have
when Mashiach comes, there's going to be Pesach.
Why not?
Saying there's a machlekes.
But we don't say.
No, Purim will
We
have.
say Lashon, right?
Maybe that's later
Hanukkah
on.
will
No,
have.
we don't say we're going to
Some that tells the Canaan.
So I think it's the stuff that we did.
We don't say we're going to do the
That
Karban
tells the
Pesach.
Gula
Canaan.
meaning Purim we did. We accepted
Mashiach.
Gula. Hanukkah we went out.
Lavdavke
Those
Karban
things we
Pesach.
keep.
Uh-huh.
Otherwise, the Gula, once you have the bigger Gula, you keep the bigger Gula. Mashiach is bigger
Say
Gula
we-
than Pesach. We're not going to have Pesach.
There's
It's a big industry.
on
Pesach is a big industry.
yeah, it's got
Are we still going to remember the smaller Gula when we have the big Gula? You
So
say?
that's the machlekes, right? That's the machlekes in the Haggadah. We bring the Mishnah that our maskinim Yitzias Mitzrayim Leila Mavah. The Leila Mashiach comes. Are still going to need to. Is still going to be a mitzvah to say Yitzias Mitzrayim?
Still a great mass, even though you have a bigger mass.
So that's the machlekes, right? We have the machlekes in the Mishnah.
Because it won't be bottled in Janssen. Gabi,
It'll feel like it's bottled, but it's not really bottled.
No,
But
but
Purim will still feel, but the ones that are
Radbaz.
bottled will still feel strong.
No, but the Maya Dim B'Teos also lovely, right? On a different share, we brought it with the Pirush of the Radbaz teaches that it means that the times are going to be so good, lost lovely, that every day is going to feel like the Yom Tov. You're not going to notice the difference.
Right.
You're not going to notice the difference between nowadays. You're busy working, doing everything. So
You're still going to have to clean your house.
what?
No,
We're going to have avodim. We're going to have.
The Karban Pesach is going to be the Zeicha to clean it. Since ever says in the Sikha last night, they were cleaning it, you're supposed to remember Tzitz Mitzrayim every day.
we'll only pick the easy
So what
ones.
does that mean?
Only pick
That
the
means
easy
that later
ones.
you don't have to remember it?
No, the Sapper, the Zecher, the Tzitz Mitzrayim that you have every day.
Oh, that's a Shayla Mefarshim asked. What's the big mitzvah? Well, Pesach. Oh, yeah, every day you have a mitzvah to remember.
Here we're acting it out. Here we're doing the play.
So there's a few different beers. You have to be mazur b'arichos. It's not just enough to say it. You have to describe it. You have to.
More than just saying it.
Yeah, there's the one more word. There's in the Sikh. There's Sikh. The Rebbe also explains al pi Chassidus. What does it mean? What's the hemshich of three inyanim? Ve'helach ma'anya, kol dichvin yisei veichel in lashon haba. So Rebbe teaches al pi Chassidus that the Rebbe is saying how could it come to be that the Yidden are in such a matzah of galus? The Rebbe says that first of all, it's telling you how did we come to a matzah of galus? What are we supposed to do about it, and how it's going to get us out of it? How did we come to be a matzah of galus? The achalu avasano, that helach ma'anya, that our fathers we were helach ma'anya, we were in a matzah of poverty. We didn't aniyos, meaning in kedusha, we weren't there herring. We didn't connect with kedusha. We didn't connect with Eibusher. Do what we were supposed to do, and therefore achlanu avasana, which al pi Chassid is going on meichin and gili alikus. Therefore, the alikus went into galus. Therefore, that's why all the Yidden went into galus. That's the first stage. How's it happened that we went into galus? Because we were in a matzav of aniyos in kedusha. The next stage wasn't mean kol dichvin, saying even still, nevertheless, kol dichvin. The Eibusher tells the Yidden, if you're hungry for godliness, if you're hungry for kedusha, you say v'echel, come and eat. The Eibusher will give you, the Eibusher will satisfy you. He'll give you, even though you're in galus still, if you have a hunger for kedusha, the Eibusher will satisfy you. And then it goes on, and not only that, and then it goes on weiter. Someone who is not get full for kedusha, but he wants to go further. He wants to connect even closer to Hashem. So he say v'yifsach. He come and do the Pesach, which is of Pesach is only nechal al hasiva, only once you're full. This meaning someone who's already satiated with kedusha, but he wants to connect. He wants to come closer to Hashem. Still, the Eibush says even though you're massive galus, you can still come closer. And through this, if you do this, then lashana haba. Ba'arad Yisrael, Lashana Haba will be in Eretz Yisrael, and Lashana Haba B'nei Chayrin. Then, until we come to a higher Madrega, we're going to be B'nei Chayrin. That's how the Rebbe teaches connects the Inyan and Al Pi Chassidus. one more thing. Why do we repeat over Hashata Hacha Lashon Haba B'Arad Yisrael Lashon Haba B'nei Chaytin? Why do we say it twice? Some of our should say we want to be mechazik the Indian, like in Kiddush Levan. We repeat some shtiklach a few times. But the Rashba says that no, when you ask about kasha, you first start min akal al kaved. We're saying ask about kasha, therefore we start with the easier thing, and then we say ask for the greater thing. The Tov Maramakim says Vasinu kechol mevakesh rachamim. We did just like any person who asked for rachamim. First you ask for the smaller thing, then you ask for the greater thing. So to David did. First he asked Eibusher to be meichel him on the things, on the various he did by mistake. And then he asked for mechila for the various he did b'mezid. So he says, so too over here, so too we ask, Hashata Hacha. Now we are here. We should be in Eretz Yisrael. We'll still be in Galus. Could be someone will still be ruling over us. We want to be. We want to be. It's a Zionist. I don't know. We want to be in Eretz Yisrael. This year we are. Ha'anan Avdi. We're still slaves. And we should be Bnei Chaydim.
He learns that it's just two different things.
The double lashon.
Double lashon means
You're saying
No, we learn it that it's just different pratim.
right. He's learning it means two different things. One is
It is two different pratim, but you ask.
with Mashiach.
Yeah.
Christian also, but we know, he has also, it says, you see that Shem took us out of Mitzrayim, and the Abbas out of Mitzrayim. It's also like both. So there's two different Abbas. There's the Abbas that you had to work, and the Abbas that you're
in Mitzrayim.
Mitzrayim, the culture of Mitzrayim.
That's also
So
Abbas.
here also, maybe you could say, we'll be in Eretz Yisrael, but also there, I mean, out of, we can't do everything we can here. Go there, and also be out of Necharim, meaning true Necharim.
Yeah.
You won't have
No limitations.
they have an Eretz Yisrael, so they have people who are not permits us and whatever it is. So that also won't be forcing
I
people.
think the Miller said it, right? I think the Miller you heard it from, you said.
Yeah, he didn't say that, but he said part about Mitzrayim. I'm just telling to
Right.
this.
Interesting. Like so.
He said that people think you're free here. Like, we're free, you're not free. Because as long as you have the outside influences, it's impossible not to be influenced from the going here.
Right.
As long as that, then it's steering you from doing Ratzon Hashem.
It's a good word. Yeah, so that's that.
Wash?
Yes.